Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. We have one of the biggest events in the crypto space coming up on February 6th of this year. So we're just about a month away from that. This is going to be the ONDO Summit. And this is the first time that they've hosted this event, and it is going to be massive. And so if you enjoy this content, do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe for future videos. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of this information, right? Wall Street 2.0 is coming. ONDO is bringing institutional grade finance on chain. The first ever ONDO Summit will bring together the biggest names in traditional finance and blockchain. And so we can take a look at some of those, right? I mean, we can see down here, we have Swift, we have MasterCard, we have Blackrock, Goldman Sachs, DTCC, Franklin Templeton, Fidelity, some of the biggest names in the financial space today. And so I'm going to be going over those as they are all focusing on tokenization of assets. Larry Fink from Blackrock has mentioned that tokenization is going to be the next step, and 2025 is going to be the year where we are going to see this explode. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the price of ONDO, currently at $1.60. And so we can see this did come down and bounce around $1.30 once. And then we did spike back up to about $2.15. And then we came back down and touched that support again around $1.30. And now we are bouncing. So I think we will start seeing more upside potential moving towards that event on February 6th. And so if you're interested in trading ONDO Finance, you can check out the link underneath the video to Weex Exchange. They do have spot and futures trading on the platform, and there is no KYC required. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some more news here regarding ONDO Finance and tokenization. We have Bitwise predicting that tokenized real-world assets will reach $50 billion in 2025. So Wall Street is starting to recognize that tokenization offers clear advantages. They suspect that a wave of big institutional money is about to pour in. And I would agree that institutions are going to be jumping on board just based on the speakers that are going to be attending the ONDO Summit event here. If we take a look at this list, we have BNY, right? We have Fidelity Investments, we have Blackrock on this list, we have DTCC, we have Franklin Templeton, MasterCard, and now we have Wisdom Tree, Wellington Management, and David Schwartz from Ripple. And so just take a look at the list of people here. These are some of the biggest companies in the financial space today. And so if we go ahead and just take a look at DTCC here, we can see that they have processed 3 quadrillion of securities just in 2023 alone. Now, if I take a deeper look into it here, Securitize is focusing on real-world asset tokenization. They're working very closely with BlackRock and ONDO Finance. And we can see that right here, right? I mean, we can see BlackRock is working with Securitize, who is working with ONDO. And so we can see that here as well, right? That they are building on BUIDL and leveraging BlackRock's tokenized treasuries with their OUSG stablecoin. Now, in addition to BlackRock, we also have other major players in the financial space looking into tokenization. One of those is Goldman Sachs here. They mentioned that they're going to launch 3 tokenization projects by the end of the year. Now, I have not seen anything come out with that yet. This was July 10th, 2024. Right, so Goldman Sachs is looking into tokenization. We have MasterCard joining forces with U.S. banking titans for tokenized settlement trials on May 8th, 2024. And so we can see payment processing and settlement firm MasterCard has joined hands with major banking institutions in the United States, such as Citigroup, Visa, and JP Morgan, to test distributed ledger technology for banking settlements using tokenization. And so MasterCard is going to be speaking at the ONDO Summit. We have Citi collaborating with Wellington Management and Wisdom Tree to explore tokenization of private markets. Now, Wellington Management and Wisdom Tree are also going to be speaking at the ONDO Summit as well. Right? We have Ripple here that has also started to look into tokenization as a new era for the XRP ledger with real-world asset tokenization. Right? And so now Ripple is also going to be speaking at the ONDO Summit. Right? And so this is crazy. I mean, just looking at the number of people that are getting involved in tokenization and now going to be speaking at the ONDO Summit. And so one thing that people may be nervous about with what is coming up is the token unlock for ONDO Finance. And so this is going to be happening on January 18th, just less than 2 weeks from today. And so there's going to be a huge unlock of tokens. However, this is not all going to happen day one. This is going to happen over a 1 to 3 year time period. And so we're not going to see a massive dump of tokens on January 18th. Now, yes, may the price drop just because people are fearful of what may happen. However, I think the price will bounce right back. And so if we do see a drop down to $1, I'm going to be using that as a very large buying opportunity to purchase more ONDO tokens. And so we can see here the token unlocks timeline. And so we have the coin list, ICO, right? We have monthly vesting over 1 year. We have monthly vesting over 5 years for the ecosystem growth. We have private sales, monthly vesting over 3 years. And so you may see 90% token generation event. Well, that's only 90% of the 2% that is allocated, right? So it's not as bad as it seems. And so it's definitely something to be paying attention to. A lot of people will be talking about this event coming up on January 18th. However, this is going to be a linear unlock. It's not going to be a cliff unlock that's going to be dumping a massive amount of tokens. And so, yes, this may have an impact on the price. However, I think moving forward with what ONDO is building, this is not going to have that much of an impact. Now, if we go back to DTCC here, as I mentioned, they processed 3 quadrillion of securities in 2023. And they're talking about asset tokenization here and some of the benefits for that. Now, some of them are future-proofing their business through integration of legacy systems with digital asset infrastructure to provide a comprehensive client experience, including risk management and financial reporting. We have increasing operational efficiencies to reduce costs and mitigate risk. We have automating collateral mobility, enhancing transparency, security, and compliance, reaching new markets, and then democratizing access to alternative investments by leveraging the lower cost structure of digital assets. This provides retail investors access to traditionally high minimum investments, such as private equity. And so I think Hunter Horsley from Bitwise does a very good job explaining how tokenization could have a big impact on the markets. And so, he says historically the key to democratizing tech platforms, such as Airbnb, Uber, and YouTube, is the supply side. And so, for example, a grandmother that is making cooking videos, the global audience that wants to see them is maybe 10,000 people. She can't broadcast on cable networks, but for the first time can broadcast via the democratizing platform of YouTube, right? She can find access to the people that want to watch the cooking videos. An entrepreneurial homeowner that loves hosting people that can't afford a Marriott franchise, but can list a home on Airbnb. Also, a person with a car who likes to drive but can't afford a taxi can become a driver with Uber. And so there's a theme that there's untapped supply that couldn't use the traditional platforms, but is able to use the new one that has a lower barrier to entry and scale requirement. And so this is what tokenization will have a big impact on. And so we can see today there are around 4,600 companies in the US that are able to access the public equity markets. And so it's estimated that there's over 200,000 companies in the US that are doing over 10 million in revenue. And so out of the 200,000 companies, not all of them want to go public, but many of them that do want to go public can't because it requires immense scale. And so that is where tokenization comes into play. And so I think for these companies, the supply side, tokenization can be revolutionary. And for the demand side, much like YouTube videos or Airbnb listings, you could have never accessed otherwise, will present exciting new possibilities. Now, if you want to invest in your local dry cleaner or hometown barbershop, you may have that opportunity with tokenization. And so I think this will have a major impact on the finance space, right? And we can see all of the people getting involved, right? And we have the biggest players in the space getting involved in tokenization, and we can see that the institutions are coming. I mean, just look at the names of people that are going to be attending the ONDO Summit and the speakers that are going to be there, right? I mean, Blackrock here is going to be speaking at the event, right? They're not just attending, they're going to be speaking at the event about tokenization. And so I think this is definitely a sector to be paying attention to throughout 2025, moving in towards this event on February 6th. Now, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe for future videos. Also, make sure to check out that link underneath the video to Weex Exchange if you're interested in trading ONDO Finance. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.